And we should be live on Twitch, Sanchez. So
Let me double check.
let's see what happens.
It it's up.
All right. So we'll start the show. Welcome to Dads on a Map, a board game podcast by dads for everyone. I'm James.
And I'm Sanchez.
And today is one of our favorite days of the year, the Dome Top 20 episode.
3 list, 60 games, all the stats, all the games. Just how actually we're the only show that does this. 60 games, one episode. We don't have to expand this across 4 months. We don't do that. We give you all the games all at once. Right, James?
All in one night. And tonight, it's even live. We're on Twitch. So if you're out there watching, have fun with us. Also, me and RJ got a new song for you. Enjoy the show.
New song day.
All right, here we are, Sanchez. Like we said, so if you're listening to the podcast normally after the fact, we're actually trying to stream this on Twitch while we record our audio, and hopefully nothing blows up. But we'll see what happens. Really, the only housekeeping to talk about up front: keep signing up for DomeCon. I know it's not till August next year, but all the games you hear about in this show are going to be games you can play there. And so, if you want some Dome action, get yourself to DomeCon next year in August 21st to 25th in Kansas City, and we'd love to play all of these games with you.
All right. Are you wearing a Detroit Lions jersey?
I
Is that
am.
what you're doing?
So this is a throwback Barry Sanders jersey because I
All
had
right.
it's actually I'm pretty sure it's inverted on the stream. so so it looks
Yeah,
more
it
like
is.
a backwards 50. But for the top 20, right? This is like the only
Ah.
non-Chiefs jersey I own. This was my dad's jersey. He passed away a couple years ago, and one of the things handed down. So, yeah, I rocking the 20 for the top 20 tonight. So,
Nice, nice. All right, all right.
shout out to Detroit in the house. All right, let's get some stats, and then we'll get this thing rolling because this show is just all games, all numbers. Here we go. 84 Domers submitted list this year. So I talked about on the last show with Sanchez that I was hoping our number would climb, and it did. 69 last year was nice, but 84 is nicer. So those numbers keep going up. 465 unique games received votes. That is 11 more than last year, 454 last year. And 50 different games received number one votes, which is up from 39 different games in 2022. So remember, in March, we're going to take the top 128 that we've, assembled here, and we're going to put them into the traditional Dome Madness single elimination tournament with daily voting, see if it shakes out any differently, right? Last year,
Mm-hmm.
our number one game at the top 20 was 1830, but the Great Zimbabwe actually won Dome Madness. So we'll see what happens this time, who emerges on top of this mountain, and then the next one as well. Spoiler alert, the final entry to sneak into Dome Madness at number 128 is Locomotive Works. So if you were hoping Loco
What?
Works made the top 20, it did not. But it will get to face off with the number one in Dome Madness in the first round. So hopefully that works out. Shout out to the chat. Brandon is in here keeping us company. He said he's been listening and he's excited for this annual top 20. I went back today and listened to bits and pieces of some of the previous top 20s, and it's really fun to hear just the different things we've done over the years with this list.
I can't wait. I can't wait for all this. This is gonna be awesome.
All right, let's talk about last year's top five. So my top five last year was number five, Santiago. Number four, 1870. Number three, Pax Porfiriana. Number two was Tichu. And number one was 1830. Sanchez, what was your top five last year?
All right, my top five was Bus Indonesia, Fresh Fish, Teach You, and everyone's favorite Tigers and Euphrates.
And then the Domers' top five last year. Number five, Tigris and Euphrates. Number four, Pax Pamir. Number three, The Great Zimbabwe. Number two, Chicago Express. And more trains at the top with number one, 1830. So we'll
Choo
see
choo.
how that shakes out this year. And that kind of sets the table for you, though. If you're a new listener or you just weren't around last year, didn't listen last year, or you forgot about what happened last year, that gives you a chance to kind of see where we're at. All right, so I have a song. we're going to do the song right up front because we're going to get the energy level up, Sanchez. This is we got 60 games to talk about. We got beers to drink, but we got to keep it pumping. So,
Okay.
as many of you know, me and RJ for the last year have been doing a monthly Dads on a Map parody song. And in fact, this whole idea was born last year in this episode because he dropped his The Messenger TGZ song last year as like a little surprise for the when TGZ was announced in the top 20. That kind of got me motivated, like, let's make music, RJ. Let's like do this, right? So since then, we've been dropping songs all the time. And we got one for you today. So a lot of the games you're going to find on our list today are what we would probably call Dads on a Map classics, right? These aren't the games you're going to find on Kickstarter most of the time or on the monthly sales on Miniature Market or Cool Stuff. So this month's song from Cert Limit Records, James and RJ, takes a look at where you do go to find these dome gems, right? You go to the garage sale. You go to the BGG Marketplace, Math Trades, maybe like an abandoned storage unit in Poughkeepsie or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe, such as you can go to the thrift shop.
I knew it.
You know this setup's going, don't you?
Yeah, I knew it.
So a Noble Knight from the chat. Thank you, Sean. So check out the special cameo in this piece, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Little peek behind the curtain for listeners probably won't hear this, but viewers on Twitch are I have to actually post the video now so Sanchez can watch it simultaneous with me. So you got to give me a second, but clickety click. It's now officially launched. I open this.
Hey, Dad.
What's funny because I signed into my free chat thing, and like we're on an ad break right now, which is hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even better. All right, Sanchez, I'm going to DM you this link. You can pause it, and then we'll count it in and start it together, and I'll get it on the screen for the viewers, too.
All right, I'll let you know when we're off a break, maybe. I don't know if it's like for everybody or just me.
Yeah, I don't know how it works. I just know since we're an affiliate now, we get commercials popping up, and I'll tell you what it hasn't done. It hasn't led to making any money.
All right, let me change this to make sure that it doesn't. Okay.
And the viewers should be able to now watch the YouTube video with us and listen along.
Okay. I am ready when you're ready.
All right, we'll count it in at 3, 2, 1.
Hey, Dads. Can we go to Half Price Books?
What? No,
We had to get Dylan in here on the track. I'm hunting for some gems. Only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Now walk into the store like, what up? Bring out your old stock. Now I'm just pumped to buy some shit from the Dome Shop. Games in my hands, the rules are damn crumbly. The people like,
Damn, that's a dusty ass homie.
rolling in, scanning for the opposite of all the rage. Drinking mean mint, and I always stop when I see beige. Think I found a reprint, pull it up in front of me. Rains in Iberia, smells like a travesty. Piss. Boy, not for 99 cents, dump it! Sales table checking, looking for a happy accident. Passing up on the dollar copies of Founders of Doom and it's digging dented, fuck it, man. Approach it without caution and paying my money for your rarities, cause that's a bargain, bitch. I'ma take your grandpa's games, No, for real, ask your grandpa, can I have his 3M games? Bookshelf edition, still with price stickers. Avalon Hill games, all in good condition. They had a game with no board, I bought a game with no board. I bought a laminator, then I made my own board. Hello, my ace man, my mellow. Don't underrate my janky PNP game, hell no. I've comboed up this and that, weird games of all sorts. Collectors always be like, oh, he got the impulse.
I'm hunting for some gems. Only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. I'm hunting for some gems. Only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about keeping them gems in your noggin? What you knowin' about pulling that catalog when you're digging? You're searching right through that rubbish. One game is trash, that's another one's come up. Thank your granddad for donating his red vintage board games, cause new shit just don't hit the same. In HPV, you bet your ass I'll take a look. I'm not stuck on searching in that section. For 20 or 30 or shit maybe 40, I'll take that sorted unplayed game right off your hands and trade that motherfucker. I'll get a yes from your no on that motherfucker. I'll move it up, Kobe G. Co. on that motherfucker. They be like, oh, let's settle that's hella tight. I'm like, yo, that's a hundo for a paperweight. Signature edition, let's do some simple addition. Draw a card and play a card ad nauseum can make you sick. Shit. But what's this playing full price to let it sit? Shit. You do you, it's probably not my business. It costs hella dough. And when your gravestone message starts with MSRIP, that's a hella dough. Secondhand games, yo, that's what you wanna scope. Trying to keep up with the hotness, you hella won't. Man, you hella won't.
Hidden gems, filling
I'm hunting for some gems. Only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades and markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. I play your granddad's games. Hotness don't hit the same. Flip hits with flashy names for that Dome Shop Hall of Fame. I play your granddad's games.
Damn right.
Hotness don't hit the same.
It don't, man.
Flip hits with flashy names
Flip 'em.
for that Dome Shop Hall
Top
of
shelf, let's
Fame.
go.
I'm hunting for some gems. Only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades and markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Advanced Squad Leader, is that your grandpa's game? Hey, Dad.
All right. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, RJ, for being your usual amazing self. And thanks for humoring us and listening to us visit the Dome Shop, where you can find all the games on this list tonight. What do you think, Sanchez?
That was pretty amazing. Like spot on. Like loved it. The lyrics were tight. RJ's just he's getting better, man.
I think he
Rhymes,
is.
his
I think-
flow.
I
mean,
do.
I think he's getting into it.
I agree. I think he's actually getting better. Awesome. All right. Whew, yes, I'm wearing a Lions jersey, chat. It's a Barry Sanders 20 jersey for the top 20. But it's inverted. So the whole thing doesn't work. Oh, that's Dan Domi. All right. Yeah, Dan, I'm repping your neck of the woods. All right. I'm gonna try not to talk to the chat the whole show since the listeners on the podcast don't know what the hell's going on. But just to recap, we got live chat tonight on the show, so you might hear us interacting with them a little bit. All right, Sanchez, you ready to do this? Kick it up to
Are
number
we?
20.
Man, you know what? I don't even have the Domers top list on there. I guess I don't need it, right? It's all right here. I got it on my notes. Okay, it's on the show notes. I'm good.
You got
Never
it.
mind.
I got you.
Yeah.
You know, I give you
All right.
I give you what you need to succeed.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, where's this list? I was like, never mind. It's right in front of me. Go show notes. Go producing.
That's right.
All right, we're ready, man. Let's do this. And so the way we're going to generally do it is I will go with my list, and then we will go with Dome list or my list. No, James is the Dome list. Okay, cool.
It's in
All
the
right.
show notes, Sanchez.
It's in the
Says
I'm reading,
Sanchez,
I'm reading.
James, Sanchez does Dome. Number 19.
That's right.
James, Sanchez, James does Dome.
I love it.
Give him
All
everything
right.
he needs.
All right, so number 20. Let's go with my number 20. And I had to think long and hard about this. I had to give some love out for the good times I had with this game. James,
I don't know.
number 20.
It's
on
number
the
20.
list.
It could be anything.
Now, it's going to be
It's going to
the
be
comfort
me.
food of my soul for the year. Got me through some tough times. I had some happy clicky times with it on BGA.
All the drama.
It's going to be Arc Nova.
Yo!
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go, Sanchez.
I had to
Arc
do
Nova in
it.
the house.
I had to do it. Yeah, you know, on my top 20 list, every time I look at it, it's like, is it the top 20 games? Is it the the best times of the year for me? Is it, whatever? It's my list. I'll do whatever the hell I want. But I had to give out. I had to get some love out. I know there's some people that give some smack out to Arc Nova, but I think me and James have said it numerous times that it's like the soul food. It's the country. It's that comfort food. When you just want to kind of click around, have an easy system, kind of, try to make efficient turns, kind of making sure that you use your cards and your animals and build the most awesome zoo ever. I had a great time playing the game, and Still have never played it on the table. I don't think I ever want to play it on the table because I'm extremely happy with the BGA adaptation to this. So my number 20 for this year is going to be Arc Nova. Yeah, buddy.
Sanchez full wild card mode. Anything can happen
right.
on today's
That's it,
show.
man.
You never know. Oh yeah, we were gonna tell everyone Sanchez is like battling a head cold. So if he coughs into the microphone or mutes or coughs up a lung, you'll know why.
Yeah, I'm fighting allergies like crazy, so I might sound a little weird, but it's all right, man. I'm here. I'm here for you guys.
The chat is giving you the business, Sanchez. My number 20 is new to my list this year. It maybe creates a theme for me this year. I'm just loving fun. I'm loving chaos. I'm just loving mean. I just want to have fun, right? And one of the funnest games I own is Cosmic Frog, my number 20 entry. It's just plain fun. I don't know what else to say about it. You get to smash your friends. You're probably going to have some bad feelings. But if you can get over that and just have fun and realize that it's not going to be a fair game, but it's always a good time, then I think you're going to have a great time with Cosmic Frog. It's beautiful. The production is insane. You have a neoprene mat that comes standard in the box. Awesome sculpts that people are painting on the Discord. Nothing not to love. Getting to try Find Muck just kind of pushed me even farther to say, wow, this is awesome, because it added more craziness. Now there's mind combat that lets you do this stuff. I don't really care about the dice versus the chips so far in my one play, but I just know that this is one of the games that I'm constantly like every week when what are we going to play in my live group? I'm like, oh, I kind of want to say Cosmic Frog again, like, because it's just wild and fun. That's my number 20.
All right, ribbit. All right, number 20. Let's go to the Domers. What did the Domers select? What is the I guess the top 20th most popular game? I guess that's how you're going to say it. They're going to go with, Fresh Fish. Damn, that's so low. That hurts my little heart. That hurts my little Kyle heart. That Fresh Fish is at number 20, but it's on the list. That's the most important part. If we go back, actually, James has done some historical data work for us. Kind of like Monday Night Football. We have to go back and look at the stats.
That's right.
It went from, let's see, 2 years ago, it was at number 20, then went down to 22, and this year back up to 20. So it did see a little bit of slippage, but it is back in the top 20 list. Everybody loves Fresh Fish. Everyone loves Kyle's rules. Everyone comes into the server now and doesn't ask for Winsoms. They ask for, where's Kyle's rules at?
You're right. That is exactly right. That's like the most popular question to hit the Discord. I keep saying to myself that I'm going to go. I know Steven Suhar, he did like a redraw of the rules, basically like reformatted them, just kind of cleaned them up. Kyle's rules. I want to go onto our website and just put a link at the top that says Kyle's Fresh Fish rules. That way people can find it easily if they need it. So I need to do that. And I'll do that. I'll do that after the show. Sanchez, I'm going to do it after the show.
All right, I'll hold you accountable to that, sir.
But it is nice to see Fresh Fish back into the top 20. I think it only can grow from here. It was only on 19 lists, which is low out of 80. Like, I know it's still hard to find, constantly out of print, and you have like the rules thing, right? That kind of is a hurdle for people. I've talked about it being a hurdle for me in the past, but I think once you're over the hurdle, it's magic.
I mean, is that one of the hardest game mechanics, the expropriation?
I mean, it's hard. It's unique, right?
Yeah,
that a game
is.
asks you to be able to administrate it, essentially, and then use that administration to play the game better. So it's definitely a thing. Okay, on to number 19. I'll lead the way this time. My number 19 game is going to be my first cube rail to make the cut. German Railways / Preußische Ostbahn / whatever they're calling it at Rio Grande, Prussian Railroads. This is new to my list as well. It just snuck in over some other cube rail options like SAR. I guess I shouldn't say them because then I'm giving spoilers. But I just had a recent wonderful play of it at Age of SteamCon that was kind of pushed me over the edge. We played the expansion map that just came out. But this game is just fun. It's asymmetric positions of the companies, right? The forced connections that kind of make you interact with the map and touch each other in order to end the game, Chicago style, you know? And then the bag pull, which is like right back to chaos mode for me. Like Cosmic Frog has a turn order that is not set. You never know whose turn is next. Well, so does German Railways. You never know how many actions you're going to get. but you can try to at least push it in directions to manufacture that in the best way possible for yourself. So my number 19, German Railways. We're just going to call it German Railways for now, and then we'll see if anyone adapts all the other names for it as we go.
You can be like a /// on the box.
You're right. On to you, Sanchez.
All right, my number 20 or not 20. My number 19 is something I actually was looking forward to play for a long time, and it is going to be Combat Commander Europe. It was
Ooh.
pretty much my first Hex encounter game. The Big E got me a copy. Actually, he gave me his copy, all nice. He was all blinged out. It had the trays, had the corner clips on the chits. Super like slick game. Hector took time to teach it to me, and I had a blast. It's everything I thought it'd be. It's a whole bunch of strategy, moving your squads around, using the cards, using your actions, trying to figure out how to deal with the randomness of, gun failure or smoke or just whatever can happen in that game. And it was a ton of fun. And it's amazing how many things you can get out of the game just because of the variability set up and how your units act and things like that. I can't wait to play it again. I know that Eric has always told me like, hey, like he owes me a teach, and I would love him to like sit down and over a beer and like just learn this game and play it a couple of times. It is truly a great intro into this hex war encounter type of genre, like the actual war game type of stuff. James, I think you would love it. I think it's tons of fun because it does add some randomness to it, as all true war games do. But it's really strategic. It's really, you can kind of stack the odds in your favor and try to like, impose your will onto the other side. They're all scenario based maps, so you have goals, the other person has goals, and you're just trying to fight to win. So loved it, had a great time with it. Hector said we would play again, but Hector hasn't done anything with it. He hasn't scheduled anything on my busy schedule. He's always trying to do other war co-op games and submarine type things. He's forgotten about hex games. So
He
Hector,
must be
get on
really
it.
he must be so busy making coin collectors content. That's got to be the explanation. All right, number 19 game for the Domers. Speaking of warish games, we got Twilight Struggle still here at number 19, down 2 spots from number 17 this year. It appeared on 16 different lists, and let me spell this right as I update the website here. We're just gonna have to call it Twilight Struggle for formatting reasons. um, sorry, multitasking. Only 16 lists, and you know what? No one really talks about Twilight Struggle in the server. Like it doesn't get mentioned very often, but it still has a lot of respect. You can see from the Domers to have only 16 lists means it probably was well placed in those lists. 2 years ago it was number 16, last year was number 17, and now it's number 19, which tells me like, is this it? Is its time limited? Is it time for it to fall out of the top 20 next year and get replaced by something else? What do you think?
Maybe. I mean, Twilight Struggle was huge back in the day, and I mean, it's brought up pretty much as a meme now, thanks to Joe. Like that's pretty much the only time it gets brought up is when we talk about Zorbot and Paradoctal Ops or whatever that guy's name was. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. Maybe people are just kind of forgetting about it, man. But you know what? Now it's still on the list, so it has to be on the top of people's minds. So, great game.
Twilight Struggle, number 19. Sanchez, take it to number 18.
All right, it's going number 18. Guess what? I'm right with the Domers. I'm with Twilight Struggle. That's right, boys. People's champ. That's right. This year I'm gonna be so much better at this Dome Madness thing and win first place. I promise. Yeah, Twilight Struggle. It's one of those games that I sometimes play on the app. I just kind of load it up with the AI because I'm terrible playing with real people because real people will just steamroll me because I misplay cards all the time. Uh, but yeah, I love the game. I love the cards. I love the events. I love the history. I love the op points and trying to figure out how to use your cards to the best of your ability. Especially when you're holding, if you're the Axis or the USSR, you're holding a bunch of allied cards. And you're like, well, what the hell am I going to do with all these allied cards? And you're trying to just get out of that. It kind of feels like you're a pitcher with bases loaded, top of the ninth, and you let a little 5-4 little guy hit a 3-run homer in your hopes for a World Series run.
That
So
sounds
tough for me.
personal. That sounds
It
personal.
does. It sounds so personal. Oh my god, it's so salty. Anyways, it's still something I have on my phone. It's still something that I like to play every once in a while. It's definitely, something I don't think is ever going to leave my collection or my phone for that matter. So, love Twilight Struggle. Great game. if you've not tried it, the app is a great way to get into it because it's all rules enforcement. You can just sit there and just play the game and learn the rules from it. So, yeah, Twilight Struggle.
Yay. My number 18 is the first game on my list that starts with 18. It's 1841. Down a few spots from last year is my number 14, but it has a real good chance to rebound and climb here thanks to appearing on 18xx.games. I've been binging games of this, mostly getting my ass kicked by RJ in these games, but I have managed now to not die all the time in this game. I've figured out how to stay afloat. My next set of objectives is to figure out how to, do better, not just survive. But that's for next. I love that I'm finally getting to play this again. Haven't played it this often since we played it back in the spreadsheets like 3 years ago, which was hell. This game just has so many fun tools to play with in terms of issuing shares, producing cash, merging your companies, dumping companies, force buying a train to just shed a company completely. It is really a playground of train tools and stuff and things. RJ just like had the most savage beatdown of Xander the other day in a game of this, where he just basically like bought a couple shares of a company, of Xander's company, with two companies, merged them, stole its train, dumped it back on Xander. I said, like, RJ, you should not be allowed to have the sharp tools that are in this shed because you are a serial killer in this game. But really love 1841. I now have a copy of it, so I can try to get it on the table locally, even though Sean has had a copy for like 3 years and we still haven't got to play it. But I'm excited to keep slamming it in dot games because it's been so much fun. Sanchez, what about the Domers?
The Domers went with some game that I've never heard of, 1817. It actually holds its spot from last year, man. So it is steady at 18. It's an 18 boy who's an 18 game that is 1817. It's been on 13 list, but it has four number ones, which is pretty much, I mean, there are some people that are really into this game. Uh, yeah, man. Uh, I wish I had the time to learn this game because I'm always kind of scared of it, but people tell me not to be scared of it, right? They're like, oh, or is that wrong?
I mean,
It feels like it's super complicated. It
that's
feels
what
super
the
complicated
people
to me.
say. The people who love this game do say that. In fact,
People, the chat's all wrong or all raw about the ads.
yep. I guess you guys will just have to download the show and listen to it because they say they're getting spammed with ads in the middle of the. Well, guess what? That's why we have a list on the screen so you can see exactly what's happening. Sanchez and I don't have anything interesting to say about 1817 anyway. So
That's right. That's right. The people are waiting a minute for the ads. Oh,
Yep.
okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go with. Oh, James, you're going to do number 17.
Yep, number 17 for me is another Cube Rail game. This is West Riding Revisited. More trains on my list, but this took a tumble too from number 11 last year. I just continue to struggle to put Cube Rail games on the table with my local group. And it's mainly because of other things I'm just more excited to play right now. And then like TTS Cube Rail nights just have not been a thing in the past year. So it's been a struggle to get some of these Cube Rail games played. But I still love and respect the system of West Riding Revisited. I love how mean it is. I love all the math in it, which is a weird thing for me to say. I really just got to play it. I just got to get it back in and on the table. And I know it's probably going to rebound and shoot back up my list, but that's the nature of making a top 20 list. Let me just update this on the thing and send it to you, Sanchez.
All right. Let's see. Where are we at? We're number 17. 17 on my list is actually something I played once of. It was at BGG Con, and it was actually, I think, Derek's copy. It was a game called Canyon. And I brought this up on maybe the one BGG episode that we played, but it is a card game that is actually an amazing experience. James, have you played Canyon?
No, I thought you were about to say Magical Athlete when you said you played one time at BGG Con and it was Derek's.
No, I played Magical Athlete a couple times, sir. But Canyon, I've played once, and it's a trick taker. But the thing is about this game is that you are all in canoes going like racing around this canyon. And so like as you're racing across the canyon, the river's very wide, right? But as you go around the canyon, the number of cards in your trick get lower and lower and lower. So your bets get smaller and smaller and smaller. And if you win your bet, that's how many spaces you move. So what happens is you start with like 5 cards, and then your next 10 is 4 cards, and then 3 cards, and then 2 cards, and then 1 card, right? So like making your bet it's super important to fight for your space around the river, right? So as the game starts to end, the amount of cards increases again, but then you're fighting like the waterfall. So as you start to lose your bets, you start to fall down into the waterfall. If you fall down the waterfall, you pretty much restart at another part of the river, and you're pretty. So it's like a racing game, but with trick taking as your hands are shrinking and then expanding. It's actually really cool. But this copy of this game was like super. It was like it had to be like in the 70s, man. But I believe Drew told me that this game comes in a couple of different names, so you can actually kind of look this up, and it's some sort of racing card game or whatever. But it was actually a really cool mechanic about how your hands get smaller and then larger, and as you're fighting these currents, really cool game. I'm really glad I got to play it. I'm hoping to play it again pretty soon. I'm actually always looking for a copy of it, and I've yet to find one that's a reasonable price one. So, yeah, that's going to be, I guess it's my first trick taker game of the list. If you know, trick taking, but you're racing around a canyon. So, anyways, Canyon, super awesome. If you get an opportunity to pick it up, please pick it up, especially if it's at a yard sale.
The Domers at number 17, they are going with another 18xx game. This is The Old Prince, 1871. It is up 2 spots from last year. It was number 19. It appeared on 18 lists total with 1 number 1 vote from Edvin. The Old Prince's 3-year trajectory, though, is strong. It was number 68 in 2021. It was number 19 last year, and it's number 17 this year. More and more people are getting The Old Prince in their hands, whether it's by PNP or, well, actually that's it, PNP. But we're hopeful that more and more people will get it in their hands in the next few years, because rumor has it that, it has found a suitor and hopefully will be printed, kickstarted, whatever, something someday, because more people deserve to play this game, for sure. So there's Top making its appearance at number 17. Sanchez, want to take us to number 16?
All right, number 16 on my list is my copy of Mino Dice. That's it, just my copy. Nobody
Just
else's
yours,
copy.
nobody else's.
Just my copy. Love Mino Dice. Actually, my homie, once again, Derek, sent me a copy of this game. He loves me so much. He says, Sanchez, have you got Mino Dice? I'm like, no, man, I haven't got it yet. I haven't got the time to look for it. He's like, what's your address, homie? And I'm like, awesome. See, people love me, James. I don't know what to tell you.
Derek is
They send me-
he's your trick taker dealer, it sounds like.
I know, man.
He's shouting out
Dude.
Tricky in the chat, and looks like
I
you're
know.
going to be the representative.
He's trying to guilt me to go into his Texas Tricky Con in February.
You literally live in the same state. You should be there.
I know. I should go. I was actually talking to Monica about it. I was like, hey, do you mind if I go down to San Antonio to go play card games for about 4 days? But yeah, I'm seriously thinking about going. Anyways, Mino Dice. Dude, awesome game. It's so much fun playing with people. It's like Skull King, not Skull King, but pretty much you have dice, all different colors, and they're ranked in suits. And then what you're doing is, everyone that takes a dice, rolls, and bets how many tricks they're gonna get, and that pretty much determines your score. If you hit your score, great. If you don't, you get minus number of points from the difference of the score you made and the tricks you made in your projections or whatever. Super fun game. I love the bluffing. I love the Mino Dice, and everyone does different things. I guess everyone decides what they yell at their table. What do you do, James? Do you do Mino Dice, or you do?
I think we're just lame and go 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. You don't have like a slogan or anything.
I know we tried to do no dice at some point, but it didn't
Mm-hmm.
stick. I think we just say 1, 2, 3.
You just said 1, 2, 3.
What do
We're
you say?
professionals.
What do you say? It's on
I
your
think
list.
it's Mino Dice. I mean, I say Mino Dice. I go with whatever the table wants to go with. Yeah, but there are parts where like the mermaid will beat the minotaur. The minotaur is the top dice. So even though you have dice, there's ways. It's kind of like rock paper scissors type of mechanic. Super fun. I love playing it. A great midnight game. If you can get a copy, get a copy. Pick it up. It's super fun. Great to play with the family. Love it.
My number 16 game is another new arrival to my top 20 and to my collection this year. This is Acquire. I have so much love and respect for this old Sid Saxon design from the 60s, the 1960s. It is so simple. It's Knizia-esque in its simplicity on your turn. You literally you place a tile and then you can buy things. That's your turn every time, unless you cause a merger, in which things just happen and you make a couple more decisions. It's rich with luck of the draw, but it asks you, like a lot of Knizia games that came after it, to take that luck and the restrictions and do with it what you can to make the best of what you've got. Try not to run out of money because you're going to be sad if you do, and then come out on top, hopefully. My couple plays at DomeCon, I think I got to play it 3 times at DomeCon, just solidified it for me because it was so damn good and feels so good to teach to new people that this is never leaving my collection. It's a stamp. It's a hallmark of the
You
collection.
played it 3 times at DomeCon?
Yeah, right? I'm playing Acquire 3 times at DomeCon.
I've never played this game, and you never even got me to this game. Now I feel really bad. You hate me, dog. Like I thought.
We'll
actually,
get there. We'll get there
we'll
next
get there
time.
one day. One
Yeah.
day. Oh, I feel so sad. All right, all right. 16 on the Domers list. It is Pax Porfiriana. What?
Oh,
This is a typo.
no, it's not. I'm afraid.
It's a typo. No, it's not a typo. It is down 6 spots from number 10 from last year. Man, I guess our lack of Pax Porfiriana tournament has caused this, James. We are responsible for the
I
droppage.
blame Brandon. He's been organizing it for like a month.
It is Brandon's fault. Let's just blame Brandon. Brandon, it is your fault. This sudden drop of Pax Porfiriana, once everyone's darling game. Only one person had it as number 1. James, who was that one person?
It's Sean.
You know this guy.
My boy Sean.
Your boy Sean. He's the only one that still loves this true to his heart.
Listen, it's in the top 16. Let's not get crazy here. This is not.
Oh yeah, it's still great. It's a great game. Yeah, but if we look at it, it went from number 12 to number 10 to 16. So it's kind of doing this weird oscillation thing, you know. I don't know why. It's thematic. It's great. It's small, and I feel like people can now like find copies of this pretty cheap. I don't say like cheap, but like it's reasonable to pick up this game.
They seem
So-
kind of plentiful. Like you see them for sale a lot because I'm sure they get sold because people are like, "Oh, I really liked Pamir or whatever," or "I love Ren," and then they're like, "What the hell is this?" When they pull a card out of there and they're like,
Yeah.
looking at it.
Yep.
All right,
Let's go to 15.
let's take it to 15. With me, my number 15 is yet another train game, 1870, which is a big fall. It was my number 4 last year. I've got a lot of games getting bumped around a little bit for some fresh meat in my top 10, and I still love 1870. I love all these games. It's great live. It's great async. It's just great. But, top 15 is still really good. I love all the tools Bill Dixon gives you to play with price protection and issuing shares and redeeming shares, destinations. 1870 is a grand time. I think it's people are scared unnecessarily by its length. I don't think it's that long of a game. My tables have seemed to play it to bankruptcy, which is certainly going to help my impression that it's not a long game. But like 1830, if you don't bankrupt, be done when you want to be done, is kind of my opinion on 1870. It's excellent on .games, so I recommend people play it there if they don't feel like they can get it to the table. That's me, 1870, number 15.
All right, 15 on Sanchez's list. What could it be? I'll tell you what it is. It's U-Boat, the German submarine simulation game. I've been playing a lot of this. I've talked about it recently on the podcast. If you've not heard that episode, it's pretty much a co-op game where you're playing with this huge 3D model of sub, and you're going through a simulation through an app, and you're trying to figure out how to beat missions. Which, due to Captain Hector's proficiency, we have yet to we've run into islands, we've like got attacked and like sunk to the bottom of the ocean. We've just like destroyed the boat. Hector is a terrible captain. I don't know. I blame all Hector for everything that happens in that game. Scott's an okay captain. He's okay. He's a little bit more structured in his orders and things like that. Hector's just, I don't know what he's doing. He's kind of looking around at people. Either ways, it's a fun game. It is co-op, but if you can find 4 people to play this game consistently, it gets faster. People know what to do. People know how to handle situations. It's super fun, man. If you have time to play this on TTS, which is the way that we've been playing it, it's just a great time, man. People are having fun. People are figuring out how to sink English ships and how to use the cannons and how to fire torpedoes and how to not get shot at. It's super thematic, super fun, great time. Super glad that Scott talked me into playing it at DomeCon. So that's my number 15, U-Boat.
U-Boat's got to win Sanchez's award for most minutes spent talking about it on the podcast this year, because this is like
Is
the
it?
third podcast in 2 months that you've just went on about U-boats.
It's on my top 20 list. What do you want me to do?
Hey man, you love it. What can I say? All right, the Domers, number 15, is a new arrival to the list, up from number 41 last year. This is Santiago. That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Domers. That's what I like to see. This was on 23 lists, but mostly carried by four number ones, Sanchez, for Santiago. Scott,
Nice.
Vince, Serene, and Mr. Fix Simmons, all their number one game. Only on 9 lists last year. So I'm going to give this one the full stamp Dome effect, but it is spreading, Sanchez. This is spreading outside of Dome. Like, I see other people acquiring this game. I see other people talking about this game. I see other people playing this game, and that makes me very happy and warm and fuzzy. 2 years ago, this game was number 209. Last year, number 41. This year, 15. Next year, the moon, Sanchez. The moon.
The
It's
moon.
going
To the
all
moon.
the way. Yep. All right, that's Santiago, number 15 for the Domers.
All right. Let's go with 14 on my list. On 14, it's going to have to be Can't Stop. Unfortunately, it's slipping.
Sanchez.
Maybe because I played 1,000 games a year. I don't know.
I will
Maybe
pick. I will pick this in your top 5 every year and be wrong every year.
I guarantee it is one of my most played games, but it's so fast, it's so easy, and it's so easy to play at 3 o'clock when you're in bed and you have nothing else to do. Love it. I love the highs and lows. Maybe that's it. Maybe I've experienced all the highs of the highs, and the lows of the lows. And trust me, there's some low points when you lose 10 games in a row, and you're like, dice cannot be this unlucky to me, and then you realize, like, no, like, you know what? Randomness is a harsh mistress. But when you hit it, and when you're riding high, man. It's still a great game. I mean, can you only really play 3 players? I don't know, but never played 4. That's
No,
my advice.
don't
never,
play it
never,
4.
never play 4. 2's good. 3 is all right. 4, never play 4 players that can't stop.
Yeah.
Great game.
My number 14 is another train game. I'm just getting them all out of the way early, I think. I don't know what's happening here. The Old Prince, 1871. Down 5 spots from number 9. But again, it's just like, there's just things climbing, right? Most notable for me is that this game has swapped spots with 1870 for me. I had 1870 as my second favorite 18XX, and the Old Prince is third, and I think that's swapped because mainly it's really spry playtime, right? That elevates it and makes it like a must-have and possible weeknight game, where it's very easy to get this game in on a weeknight. You certainly can't say that for 1870, despite me saying earlier it's not that long. The Old Prince is awesome. It's great on Dot Games, and like I said earlier, when the Domers at it, can't wait to see if it gets to proper publication, because that would be great. Sanchez.
All right, number 14 on the Domers list is going to be Room Bus.
Meh, meh.
Get on the bus. The wheels go round and round on the bus, homie. It's actually down 1 spot from 13 from 2022. But it's on 20 list and on number 1, and that's going to belong to Tom B. Man, how many spotters are going to be on this list? Who knows? But it's the first of them.
I mean,
right?
I know.
So-
I wrote the show notes, so
Oh, okay. And I calculated the list, but I still don't know how many because I wasn't really paying attention to that. Bus, it's a great game. It's super amazing. It's a weird mechanic. It's super unique in my head. Great time playing it. Super mean. Once you know how to really, push those buttons and pull those levers, man, you could be mean to people and wreck their plans. And it's still holding steady, man. So Bus is still a favorite in people's hearts. Go Bus.
this just came to online board gamers, and I've got now 2 games of it in, and it's like the most cognizant I felt about playing Bus is playing it on there so far. On the table, I usually just kind of get confused and don't know what's happening, and the rails that exist on that website have helped me feel like I know what's going on a little better. So this has potential for me to finally get some regular plays and move up my rankings. We'll see. All right, on to number 13 with me. My number 13 is my first card game. This is Moo. Down from number 7 last year. Still an absolute favorite trick taker for me. It just wants that player count of 5 that has a lot of other competition at my house lately. And so I haven't been saying, let's play Moo when I've been wanting to play other things instead. So kind of like Cube Rails, I just need to push it more. I need to, if I want to be serious about Moo, I got to make my people play it when we can. It's on BGA, but you really only want to play it live. But I always enjoy my time with it. I particularly enjoy that it doesn't overstay its welcome in a way that like Tichu can a little bit, because it is only to 200 points. It feels like a couple big hands can end a game of Moo and not make it feel too long. Still love it. In my top 20. If you want to play Moo, holler at your boy, because I'll play some Moo with you. Sanchez, number 13.
My 13 is a card game as well. It's those beans, James. Those
Them
wonderful,
beans, though.
wonderful beans. Bonanza. Man, this game kind of fell off of my list a little bit. You know, kind of like it just went into the corner. It just kind of like sat there, waited some time, and then bam, DomeCon Dallas happened, and whatever reason, it just popped back up, man. Great time, great negotiation game, tons of fun. Even though we were not everyone plays with if you have two fields and you harvest, you must harvest the one with the lesser amount. Like sometimes that rule gets skipped over, right? Was
Pretty
that
important.
was the rule?
Pretty
Yeah,
important
that's the
rule.
rule.
Yeah, I don't think I even knew it existed until that game at DomeCon.
Yeah, exactly. If you're like, oh, you can. I was like, what? Oh, well, this makes this game much harder. Love the game. Love trading beans. Love trying to figure out how to get the best hand, and just looking for those chili beans, green beans, red beans, purple bean, blue beans, all those beans. And I've never ever played with an expansion. You know what? You don't need to. I don't need no damn expansions. I have the base game, and base game is great. I mean, unless someone tells me differently that if I need an expansion, but you know what? No one has ever told me like, hey, you have to play it with this expansion. Has anyone ever told you that?
No, never ever.
No. No, you just need the base game, man. Bonanza, great game. Bean it up, homies.
The Domers come in at number 13 with another PAX title. This is PAX Renaissance, down 6 spots from number 7 last year. Appeared on 21 lists, 2 different number ones. Those were Ethan and Grolax. So far, both PAXs that have appeared, Sanchez, are taking a dive, right? We've got Porf was down 6 or 10 spots, and now we have PAX Ren down 6 spots as well. What's up with that? What's happening?
Maybe we're not pushing it, man.
I mean, you and me, we don't push the Ren, but we got Ren pushers for sure. But
no, we have Ren pushers, yeah. But I mean, maybe it's our fault because we have not followed up with our promise to sit down and learn the rules and really like internalize this game. Remember, we were like, we should try this year. We had our like PAX Ren, New Year's, what's it called?
New Year's resolution.
Resolutions, yeah, to learn PAX Ren, and then we never do. We just like, oh, whatever, we're never gonna do that.
Pretty much.
we always tell ourselves that we're gonna do that, and we never do it. So, I feel bad for my Ren games, man. My PAX games they're falling, man.
You know what? PAX Ren is still on my shelf, and that's all I can say. I've not got rid of it. I still fully intend to play it and learn it. Ideally, I got to get an accidental 2-player night and be like, okay, are we going to do this? But then I got to keep doing it, right? Because if I don't, it's gone. And that's what happened with Fresh Fish. I lost it for a little bit because I just didn't know what was happening. But all right, that's PAX Ren at number 13 for the Domers. On to Sanchez with number 12.
Number 12 is another card game. Oh my God. Has trick taking take over my life? Has Tricky Dome done something? I don't know, man. But number 12 for me is going to be Twinkle Starship.
Wow.
Dude. Twinkle Starship, dog. Love that game. Brought it up with the DFW boys. You know, when I got my copy, we showed up. We had a little gaming day on Saturday. I think it blew like RJ's mind, man. RJ sat there. He just started cranking about these little sticks. He's just like, oh, what am I going to do here? What am I going to do there? But the fact that, you make your bid, or not to make your bid, but you got to make your bid where it matches the number of sticks you have at the end of the game or the end of the round is really the crunchy side of this game. Like, do I give up? Do I lose this hand? Do I win this hand? Like, if I win this hand, is it going to screw me over later? Do I use my sticks to then modify this card to get the hand and then get an additional stick? That part of the game is super, super tight and awesome, man. It really makes you evaluate your hand in different possible ways to manipulate what's happening. Quick game too, man. It's fast. It is a quick game, and all you want to do is say, "Let's do it again." You can sit there and play multiple games of Twinkle Starship and have fun every time. So I'm glad I have a copy of it. I'm glad that I was able to play it at BGG Con, I guess 2 years ago when I got into this Kickstarter, and I was able to pick up a copy there. So, cool game, man. Thanks, James, for bringing it up on the Tricky Dome.
Yeah, Sanchez, Tricky's #1 fan. Perfect.
That's right.
I also have a card game, Sanchez, but however, just like you, it's all about them beans, baby.
The beans, baby.
As RJ said in the chat, dim beans look sexy as hell. Another new face for my list. I had mentioned last year on the show that I hope to table this more often the next year, and boy, have I. This has been like my go-to game with gamers and with family, with grandma, with the kids. I'm taking this everywhere. Like,
Yep.
oh, we might have 6 people that sit around want to do something. You guys ever played with some beans? What an amazing design and game. I adore the awkward bean art. Like, people talk trash about these beans, and I think they're like kind of incredible and awesome and awkward and weird. And I don't want new, like, there's like Beth Sobel, new like flower art or something happening. I don't really remember. I don't want that. Give me the beans, right?
Give me that wax bean. That wax bean was funny as hell.
And just a must for your family gatherings or non-gamer get-togethers, because you know what's fun? Yelling at your friends. So that's one of my favorite mechanics. Dylan, is that in the BGG mechanics list? Yell at your friends, because that's tops on my mechanics list. That's my Bonanza #12.
Oh man, number 12 for the Domers is gonna be Food Chain Magnate. It's hold its spot again. What is going on here, dude? We had more people submitting lists, yet we have games staying in the same spot. That is
Consistency,
statistically,
baby. Consistency.
that's it. That's 3 games, right? I think
Yeah.
3 games in a row now that we've had, not in a row, but 3 games that have held their spot, and that's really, really weird.
Domers know what they
Anyways.
like.
Yeah, man. 25 list. Number 1 is Rabbit Duck. Unlike packs, splotters are holding their positions. So we're looking at the past 2 years. It's going to be for Food Chain Magnate. It was number 9, number 12, and number 12. So I guess people just love those scripted openings, man.
So the spotters are holding, but the paxes are falling. See what happens.
Sell.
Right. My number 11 is Indonesia. Up 2 spots from my number 13 in 2022. I got nothing but respect for Indo. Every time you play it, it produces a terrific time. It's almost always a different game, too, despite like a fairly static setup, right? I mean, all of the enterprises, or what the hell they're called, come out in the same area every single game. The only thing you really change is where you put the cities, and then the players themselves and what they do, and maybe ones that aren't taken that are kicked out. Playing on Kevin's giant map at Age of Steam Con, I didn't get a chance to play at DomeCon, was such a treat. Like, so I'm going to just continue to say what I've been saying for 2 years. Man, I got to make my own print and play of this with that giant map. And so I'll continue to say that and see if I actually do it. Because I'm off of the alternative map thing that people were into. I want the original map. I just want it giant, because that's actually solved all the problems, because there was enough room to do everything, but you still got what is actually really cool art that they've done on the original map. So I'm big map boy now. That's what I want. Sanchez, you're number 11.
My number 11 is going to be some game that I do not have yet, but I've played printed copies of it, and James has played the prototype of it. It's Bacon. Bacon has taken over Tichu for me. I can never play Tichu again, because I don't want to sit there for 3 hours playing over a round that gives me 1 point.
Yikes,
Like,
that means Tichu is not on your list.
Yep, it's gone.
Oh,
gone. Bacon.
Oh, my. Oh.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I will play Tichu, love Tichu, but dude, I've been in some games where like we're playing and it's like 1 round, it's like 2 points. I'm like, and you're like, we're playing the 500 or something. I'm just like, this is gonna take a while. When you're just grinding out rounds, it's hard, man. But man, Bacon, highs and lows, crispy, soft, bacony. It's awesome. It gives me the same type of itch from card playing with a team member, and it's just awesome. I can't wait to get my copy, which I think is actually coming out in December.
It's coming soon. I just got the pledge manager thing or whatever, shipping info.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see the card art, because I'm still kind of wishy-washy on the card art. I think it's like super busy for me, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be playing some Bacon, get those trips and stairs and trays and tubes and Everything else I got to memorize.
Dan
so Bacon,
says in the chat, Sanchez, how do you get a number of points that's not a multiple of 5 and teach you? It's a really great
I play my
question.
own rules, man. I don't. But you're
so-
right. Yeah, it's multiples of 5. My bad.
Sanchez, I want you to go to your DMs. I want you to message Derek, and you guys go do an episode of Tricky, because you apparently are way more passionate about card games than me, according to this list. All right. The Domers, number 11, is going to match mine. Indonesia for the Domers as well, down 5 spots from number 6. So a bit of a tumble for Indo. So that's Splatter's first tumble. We were just talking about the Splatter's holding, but here we go. 27 overall lists and no number 1s for Indonesia. Its 3-year pattern was number 11, then number 6, and then back to number 11. So it's kind of just jumping around over there. Just said what I said about Indo. I think we're still going to hear from Sanchez about Indo. So we'll leave it at that and move on into the top 10. Sanchez, take it to the top.
10. That's right, the top 10. Now we're talking about the best of the best. The cream of the crop.
That's right.
And the cream always rises to the top.
Oh yeah.
My number 10 is another RJ exclusive. I don't know. Like, thank you, RJ, for teaching me this game. Even though him teaching this game took 3 hours, it is Napoleon's Triumph. I can't tell you how amazing this game is. The problem with this game, the damn rules, man. There's a lot of edge cases. There's a lot of internalization of what's going on in the game, but man, the game is pretty. It is huge. It makes you feel like a general, especially playing at DomeCon where it was a 3-on-3 and the special team rules that were happening and just kind of the laughing that was happening and the battles and, the feinting of, trying to manipulate units and armies and trying to get them to splinter off so then you can really do your attack. The game has a story, it has an arc. It's an amazing experience. And, I've told you before, man, board gaming is about experiences. It's about the camaraderie. It's about the socialization. It's about the laughs. It's about, like you said, it's about yelling at your friends and still being friends at the end. This game is really, really awesome. And I know that there's a reprint. I forgot what it's called. That I guess is kind of a modified, maybe a shorter version of a smaller version. But man, the 6-panel Napoleon Triumph board, it's amazing. If you ever get a chance to play this game, sit down, take the 3-hour teach, and get it knocked off your bucket list because it is a great game.
Speaking of experiences, I had a teacher in college, a choir teacher actually, who he always said, "I don't teach choir, I teach life experiences." Is that you with board games, Sanchez?
That is, I can teach all life experiences with board games.
Speaking of great experiences, my number 10 game is Soul: Last Days of a Star. Up 6.
Is this never leaving?
Never leaving. It's never leaving my list because it bounces around. It was like my number 1 in like 2020 or 2019 or something, but it's still hanging in my top 20. It's never leaving. It's up 6 spots for me from number 16 last year. This is like a must play for me at the con. Like, if I get to a con, I'm like, hey guys, I have Soul. Like, I want to teach it. I want to play it. The production is one of my, if not my just absolute favorite production in board games. With the right players, this thing just clicks around the table, right? Because it's very like small little tick, 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 tick turns. With the wrong ones, it could be a little laggy, a little like AP. If people, it's almost like a 18xx. If people aren't paying attention and aren't ready for their turn, the game can kind of like creak a little bit. But if they are, it just moves. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for the Kickstarter to fulfill and more people to finally have the opportunity to play and have more than just like this weird, like it has like a cult following right now, and I'm hoping when that Kickstarter fulfills, maybe it ticks up a little bit and we get a little more Dome love. This thing is always trashed in the overall Dome rankings, like in the 160s or some shit. Like nobody gives a shit about Soul but me, and I'll just continue to toot that horn and fly directly into the sun for some points.
No, I'm gonna wait with Chad. I'm gonna wait till all those remorseful Kickstarter backers start selling it for their money back, and then pick up a copy because I still do not have a copy of this game. But man, it's been like 2 years since I played Soul, so gotta get that fixed.
It also has like strong roots for me. Like, it was like the first game I bonded with like some of the Cardboard Reality people over, like BL. Like he wrote that article that kind of like popped a little bit on Reddit, and like we kind of we like got to know each other about that. So it's like it has a nostalgic hook for me too. That's part of my like board gaming life. You know
Journey.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's always going to stay special for me. All right.
Shout out Ben. Woo. All right. Number 10 for the Domers. Let's see what they have. Oh man. It's everyone's favorite. The ROOT. That's right. It's Root. Unfortunately, it's down one.
Only top 10, huh? It
Oh, only top 10. Yeah.
must not be
it-
everyone's favorite.
No, I guess not. It's gone from 3 to 9 to now 10.
Mm.
What is going on with Root? You know what? I guarantee you it's because Sanchez and James don't play it. That's why. We will claim this one. We will claim the falling of this one. It is could be out of the top 10 next year, man. It's Garrick's not doing his duty with the Root fanboy.
Bro, Garrick
sign.
streamed like 240 hours of Root. I don't think you can say Garrick's not doing his duty. Garrick is Root.
But he's the only one that had it as his number one.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Oh man. Yeah. People love Root. People are still playing on the app. There's still games going on the server where people load up the app and start playing it. So, I like playing Root, but like I said, it's a lifestyle game for me, and I'm not going to learn all the games and get all the mechanics and get all the add-ons and the fixes. Because man, if a game needs a fix, it's not worth playing. That's right. I said
Get
it.
him, Sanchez. Get him.
That's right. Roof. All right.
All right, number 9 for me. Sanchez, you just revealed that you have dropped Tichu completely. With I think was your number 2 game last year.
It was, but Bacon showed up.
Holy shit, Sanchez.
If Bacon did not exist, Tichu would still be here.
Well,
in
the reason
my
I'm bringing
house.
it up is because my number 9 game is Tichu, down from my number 2 game last year.
That's right.
Last year, it posed a real challenge to taking the top spot for me, like real close. And
Mhm.
frankly, this year, I just haven't played enough. Like, I was banging out games on BGA. That kind of went away, so I'm not really doing that anymore. I've maybe played like 2 live games of it. And so, like, it's me, Tichu. I'm the problem. It's me, not you, right? I need to play more Tichu. I love Tichu. I have so much love for what is still my favorite fixed partnership game, more so than Bacon. Bacon is like Tichu on steroids. It's like Tichu the car crash. Like, it's just like 6 cards. So yeah, I just played always. Like, it's just crazy. And I get that, and it's fun, but it's not Tichu for me, which is like this ebb and flow and struggle, and I really like it. But for now, it falls down a little bit for me, but still my number 9 game, Tichu.
All right. Let's go with number 9 on my list. It is going to be everyone's favorite abstract of all time, the champ, Go. James, when are you going to play Go?
Man, it's like a gimmick at this point. I can't just do
Yeah.
it. What
Yeah,
did I tell? I told Nick Northcutt. He comes to DomeCon, play my first game of Go with him. Or
Okay,
he can
okay, so-
referee for us. Like that'd probably be better than me just getting waxed by him.
Yeah, well, he'll sit down there with like a cup of tea and like show you the
A
rules.
boba, a goba
Yeah,
tea.
boba tea. Yeah, that's right. And like have a book club while you're doing it. Go. I still like. There are times when we're at work and I'm like, man, I just need a brain break or whatever, and I'll pop up like a little Go puzzle, or I'll pop up like a Go YouTube and just kind of watch it. It's still a game that I'm wrapping my head around. It's still something that I kind of workshop. It's like my own personal game that I don't really tell people I play. I'm just trying to figure it out to learn. So then when me and Dylan play in real life, I could just like smack him and be like, that's right. I've been practicing. I've been doing my montage Go training. It's still an amazing game. The unlimited possibilities in this game, and trying to figure out how to figure out if a group is alive or dead. How much area you can take, where the best placement for stones are. I think Nomad said it in the server earlier. It's not really about the best play. It's about the most efficient play. It's about figuring out yes, I have a couple moves. Which one of these moves is going to be more impactful later on in the game, which was really insightful. So, Go Abstract channel. That's just me supporting you guys. Go for all time.
I'm definitely like, if you look at my like a graph of my interest in abstracts, it has definitely risen. So like, I think when I finally do try Go, I'm at least going to appreciate it and not just scoff at it. That's my
Yeah.
expectation.
Gotcha.
All right, the Domers, number 9. This is a big fall, Sanchez. A big fall. Hold on to your butts. Chicago Express, all the way down from number 2 last year, takes a tumble And don't worry, it's not because some of you called it Wabash Cannonball and some of you called it Chicago Express. I got them all. But wow, what happened? Too much BGA? Did people like burn
Maybe.
out? Were they like, oh God, I don't want to click any more trains? Like, I don't know. 26
Or-
lists, but no number ones anywhere in there.
Or yeah, maybe people are like, "Oh, this is great. What other Cube Row games are there?" And then bam, they just it's
Maybe
just the
that's it.
first
Maybe
love.
it's Rio Grande's fault for releasing all these Cube Rail games that people are like now into like modern gamer territory. I got to try the next one. I got to try the next
Yeah.
one. I got to try the next one instead of just banging out Chicago Express, which I mean, I'm guilty of that. I don't feel like I ever play Chicago Express. Like it was number 5 in 2021, up to number 2 last year, and now down to 9. So cry for the trains. See what happens. That's it. Sanchez, number 8.
Number eight on the list of Sanchez is going to be Indonesia because Indonesia is amazing. It's a great game. I still have my original $50 copy that James sold when I told him not to sell his damn copy. Why did you sell that game, James?
I
Like,
regret it
why?
every day, and every year I have to do this freaking show with you, and you just have to pound it in. Like,
Yeah,
sold it
dude,
to a Domer, Sanchez, for the brand.
I get.
For the brand.
I got it. I got it. Dude, I love the game. The mergers are the best in this game. Figuring out your shipping, trying to figure out how to cut people off, trying to figure out how to use your money as a tool and as a weapon against other companies is amazing. You're just sitting there with the research track, trying to figure out how to cut people off, how to just pretty much how to take over companies with the most the most efficient use of your money. Because you can. The part that I love is you can start a merger that you're not even really interested in, but you just want somebody to spend their money, and then you can take over on top of them. It's the best, man. It's just like, hey, you guys fight it out, and I'm going to take over the scraps, and then get what I really want out of the game. It's amazing, and that huge giant XL whatever mega copy it was
Yeah.
at DomeCon was beautiful, man. Like, I mean, I would never steal from a domer, but I was really tempted. I was like, at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was leaving to go to the tech for my daughter's dorm moving day, I was like, "Where's that copy of? Where's that
Where's
copy
that giant
of
map?
it?"
You can cover
Where's
up
that
on the
giant map?
plane with it too.
To walk around and go on to. I need to check this in. What is this? A big vinyl map of Indonesia? Yes, sir. That's what it is. I study. I'm a geography expert. I don't know. Amazing game. Love it. And dude, that copy was beautiful. I hope people get to see it in real life. I don't know. Maybe it needs to go on a tour. Maybe it just needs to go like on the what's it called? The Eras tour with Taylor. Just it goes around traveling the world.
I love when we get to the top 10 because it just gets into major like circle jerk territory where it's just us talking about the same games we've talked about for 4 years, which is really funny. Like listening to you talk about Indonesia every year on this show in the top 10 somewhere is really funny. Also, I had that in
new
your top
points.
5, so I missed out there too. This is going to be interesting.
That's right.
My number 8 is The Bridges of Shangri-La. Somehow it's actually down 2 spots for me, which like I made this list and I still don't understand because I adore this game. I love how quick it is, like a 60-minute just slam, right? I love how mean it is. I love the shared incentives and how short-term they are. Like there's short-term shared partnerships. Bridges of Shangri-La is like, well, okay, we were cool, we're not cool anymore 1 second later. I love how the final score is almost always this spread of like 21 to 25 points, and everyone's kind of in there, but someone just did a little better. Um, just so tight, and so good. And I hope nobody ever grabs this and rethemes it with something that I don't want to see on it because I'm fine with it just the way it is. Bridges of Shangri-La, my number 8.
All right, looking at the Domers list, number 8 is going to be Age of Steam. It is up 3 spots from last year, so from number 11 to number 8, and it was tied for the most number ones on 5 people's list. And how many lists did it show up on? It showed up on 26 lists. Man, that's a lot of people that have love for Age of Steam, and with 5 number 1s, that's pretty high. High, that's a high standard, man.
Yep.
We're looking at people like Bailey, Dan Domi, Lochan, Cleef, and Mookie. If we look at historical data, we're looking at like 13 to 11 to 8, man. It is climbing the charts. But as James has put down here in these notes, maybe it benefits from a certain convention called Age of Steam Con,
Yeah.
not DomeCon.
Age of Steam
Age of
Con
Steam Con.
happens, and then we say, Everyone give us
Submit
your
your list.
lists. And then Age of Steam shoots up this list. It happens every year. But respect. My respect for Age of Steam is actually growing, despite my will to play it still pretty much staying the same, which is I don't really want to play it. I will say, good maps. I've said in the past, Age of Steam is not a train game. I think I'm walking that back. Bad maps are really not train games, but good maps have a ton of shared incentive and direct confrontation, and I really like that. And so I have a lot of respect for Age of Steam Con, and getting to see more maps has made me kind of respect it more. I'll tell you what, everyone though has an Age of Steam map they want you to play. Like it's like Trick Takers and Age of Steam maps constantly competing. Hey, you guys gonna play test this? You want to play test it? There's enough, everybody. There's enough Trick Takers and there's enough Age of Steam maps. We can stop now. We don't need any more. Like, I don't know. Go make a Cube Rails game. It's hard, but I'm done. I don't need any more of the things. All right, sorry. Soapbox right there. Okay, on to number 7. Sancha's just giggling at me.
No, 7's yours, dog.
7's mine. Here we go. My number 7 is the freshest Fresh Fish. Don't call it a comeback. Fresh Fish missed out on my top 20 last year. My own, problem of not getting it to the table, being scared about the rule set. But guess what? Then a white knight with blue hair came riding into our lives. His name is Kyle, and he's done it. He has done it. He's made the rule set finally not be a scary thing. It's just is what it is. You want to play? Play the Kyle rules. They're in my box. It's the only way we play, right? But like we've always said, if you're playing Fresh Fish, you're loving Fresh Fish. The only time you're not loving Fresh Fish is if you just fuck around and don't play it, right? And I don't intend to make that mistake again for a while. I even feel like I'm somewhat proficient in expropriation right now because I've played enough that I feel somewhat confident again that like I can do this. I can teach people, despite the fact that my Age of Steam teach was kind of a mess, but I feel confident. Doesn't mean I'm correct. So I'm jonesing for more Fresh Fish all the time. The fact that Steven put together that virtual tabletop mod is just cherry on top because now we can play it in browser on a website any day of the week, and that's cool as hell. So Fresh Fish, my number 7.
Awesome. My number 7 is something that you've already brought up. It is Bridges to Shangri-La. Oh, man. What can I say other than I'm going to take your stuff and move it across the bridge when you don't want me to do that? But I love doing that because it hurts your game. And I can't wait till they do like Bridges of Shangri-La, the redo, where it's like trolls, like World Tour trolls. Like that's what it's going to be. It's just going to be different colored trolls instead of Yetis and stuff like that. I'll buy that copy as well because Bridges is an amazing game. I mean, all these games are amazing. Why do I keep saying that? I should just say definitely amazing game at this point.
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, just the fact that you can move other people's pieces, like you can set up your little defenses and do whatever you want, and then all of a sudden you're trying to do something, and someone just says, "Nah, screw it, we're going to go over the bridge, burn the bridge, and then take over Masters," and you're like, "No, I needed those pieces to go something else," and then you're just like, "Screw it, I'm going to do something else." Quick game, fun, backstabby, confrontational, like
What's not to love?
what is not love? Yeah, other than maybe you can't find it sometimes, but when you do find it. You can find it for actually a decent price, or you win the Dome Madness and get it back on there as a free game. Yeah.
Unless you're
James Storms,
Derek,
everything.
and you
Yeah.
pick Raw and break the streak, kill tradition.
Boo, Derek.
He pissed
Anyways.
on Bridges of Shangri-La and just said, "Nah, I'm doing something. I got to be different."
That's right. I want the nice copy of Raw too.
Yep. All right,
Not a
Domers
crappy
number
copy.
7 is a plant their flag every year in the top 10. Hansa Teutonica. Up 1 spot from number 8 last year. It was number 8, in fact, 2 years in a row, and then finally got a bump. It's up to number 7. Stone cold top 10 lock for the Domers. 29 different lists. One person put it at number 1. That's Mitch K. I've said it pretty much every year, but Hansa Teutonica is great. It's fun. It doesn't quite do it for me. You're not going to find it in the rest of my top 7 here, just spoiler alert. But I do respect it and appreciate what people like about it. There's just things I don't really like about it quite as much. I am now vamping because Sanchez ran off to go get a beer, and he back, folks. Same.
Oh.
RJ in the chat says he's cooled on HT, and I'm the same way. I just don't know. It's not doing it for me.
No, I recently just got done playing an async play of this game, man, and it sucks async. It is terrible. It's so slow. It took us like a month and a half. It just makes me want to play it on live. But yeah, man, it's something I'm just kind of thinking about. Like, should it really be in the top 20?
All right, take it to number 6, Sanchez.
Number 6 on the Sanchez O list, we're gonna go with my favorite, maybe not James's favorite, but it's gonna be Chicago Express. I don't know why you guys don't like this game. It's on BGA. You can play it quick. You can sit there with 4 people, bang out this game, and figure out you messed up on turn 1. Why did you buy the blue company, or why did you not go into the yellow company? Every time I play this game, I cannot win this game, and I don't know why. I need RJ to sit down next to me and kind of slap my hand when I try to make a bad move. But man, the game is simple. You're buying, you're developing, you're building tracks, you're doing dividends. And for some reason, I cannot figure out how to do the secret sauce of actions in the right turns to win this game, because I always get like just blown out at the end, especially when the black company comes out, when the Wabash comes out, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna spend all my money for this game, and then like, or this company, and then I lose it all. It doesn't matter. So depressing. Anyways, it's C, number 6 for the Domers. What did you guys pick? We're looking at the show notes. You guys went with PAX Premier. It has been down 2 spots for number 4. So the love for PAX games, once again, it's going down. It's, for whatever reason, you guys are just not on top of it. But it was on 36 people's list, man. That is a huge number of list, with 2 number 1s being Simon Rayfish and Warren Seto. So if we look at the historical trends, it was at one point the number 2 game of all time, down to 4, and now down to 6. James, are we just done with Premiere now? We're that's it. Like,
Well,
you gotta sell your stock.
Number 6. I mean, it's not embarrassing or anything. Like, come on.
No, but when you go from 2 to 6, I mean, that's like you were, on top, and now you're just heading into retirement. You're doing the Joe Montana slide. You're just like slowly going PAX games.
Well, I'll just spoil my top 5. You're not going to find Premier in my top 5, which means it didn't make my top 20. I don't know about you.
It's not on mine.
There you go. Then I guess you and me are done anyway. It just doesn't have. It's not as rich as Pax Porfiriana for me, right? It's hard because it gets compared just because it has to, right? And it's just not as rich. It's still, I have a lot of respect for it. It's in my top 30 for sure, but that's how I feel. Sanchez, will you tell me your number 6? Because I had to step away and I need to fill out the chart here.
Oh, it was a Twinkle Starship. No, it's not. No, wait, Xander's on the chat. Like, what the fuck is Twinkle Starship? he obviously does not subscribe to Tricky Dome.
Come on, Tricky Dome.
My number 6 was Chicago Express.
Oh, nice. Oh, look at you, repping the train still. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
but you know what? It was a decision, man. I was just like, like, how far does it drop? But I was like, no, it's still a really good game. It is still something that, like, I will play. It is still something that I'm glad that I own. Like, because, you kind of make that decision. Like, is it a top 10 or is it 20 or is it just off the list? The Concept of Teutonica. I'm just like, you know what? I used to love the game, but like, there's more games now that I would much rather play than Hansa Teutonica. So now it's out. So
all right,
anyways, I can't.
Let me make up some ground here on my number 6. The Great Zimbabwe had a small fall last year to my number 12, but it surges back into the top 10 for me at number 6. What's to say that we haven't said? We did a review episode on this. RJ wrote an entire rap song about it. It has my favorite auction in the world, variable player chosen positions, which I love, the sliding VR, and tough economy and decisions abound when you want to push on the gas or pull back, and who you want to target. It just goes just on and on and on. So I love The Great Zimbabwe, and I have a feeling we'll be hearing more about it still in the top 5. So we'll see.
Oh man, chat's getting on you. You're not doing the list right.
They need to
apparently.
calm down. A guy has to step away from the computer once in a while. All right, I'm taking it to the number 5. Here we go. My number 5, and this is, we're in the top. This is the Hall of Fame, right, Sanchez?
That's right.
And you know where you start in the Hall of Fame? You start with the GOAT. I called it the GOAT last year because I listened back to the podcast today. Tigris and Euphrates. A little comeback for me. Had it at number 8 last year. We're back into the top 5. Some of these old favorites seem to have bounced back for me, and some of the trains and things have ticked down just a little bit to make room for those. T&E is the golden god for me. Like it like I know I still have 4 games over it, but it is just it's perfection, right? Like what else is there to say? Like it's amazing. And we've said it a million times. I'm not going to say it anymore. Sanchez number 5.
My number 5 is actually a game that I thought you would rate a little bit higher, but you obviously didn't. I don't know what's wrong with you, but it's Mew. I love that game, man.
Dude,
Mew
get this man on Tricky. Derek, get this man on Tricky. I'm done. I'm taking a vacation. Get this man on Tricky.
Dude, Mew was playing it live is awesome. Like trying to figure out what to do with your bids, and trying to figure out like James puts down like a 7, a 5, and a 3. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? And it keeps going around. And you're trying to read people's intentions and trying to figure out who's going to be chief and who's the vice, who's going to be a partner. Love the game. It's so much fun. The variable partnership. We brought up a lot of points about it, but the thing that I like about it is there is no real end game. Like you can just play till you're done. Like you don't have to set a point. You can say, oh, we're gonna play at 100 points. We're playing 200 points, or you just play till you're done. So you can actually play this during lunch with 4 of your friends and figure out how to play a game. And it's an amazing time. And at first, I had a really hard time. Like it was one of the first Trick Ticker games I remember playing at DomeCon, like the original DomeCon in Kansas City, and it was like something that just like way over my head. But now, man, I can just see just the strategy, the looking at people's cards in the front of them and what reading what they have in their hands, the bids, the points, the cards. It's awesome. I love the game. Would love to play more live. So it was funny because I think we played with the DM boys, and I think the Big E just bought it like straight off of Amazon. He was just like, "Dude, I love this game, man." Just like I was sitting there teaching to him. He's like, "I love this," and he just bought it on the spot. Great game. Anyways, Moo and More, lots more, which I don't even know what the lots more is, but I have the lots more. But it's allowed the lots in my box. I don't know.
So if we count Mino Dice, you have 5 Trick Takers in your top 20. I'm telling you, like you're on Tricky now. I don't know how else to tell you. You may not want to be, but it's the way it is.
It is.
The Domers come in at number 5. They're feeling it with me, Tigris and Euphrates, which repeats its spot from number 5 last year. 3 different number 1s. We have Sean, a.k.a. Logopolis, Dylan St. Clair, of course, and Jason Dicey Quack, always repping the T&E. 35 overall lists. T&E has been a absolute, solid rock in the Dome top 5. Number 4, number 5, number 5 over the last 3 years. No shame in that game for Kanitsia's best. Sanchez probably still got more to say about T&E to come, so we'll just leave it at that. Maybe. We'll see.
Who knows? Maybe.
Sanchez, number 4.
All right, let's go to number 4. My number 4 is The Great Zimbabwe. Love the game. Like, how people like sit there and like calculate routes on like Food Chain Magnet. They're like, oh, let me do this. That's what I do in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, it's just amazing. Like you said, the variable actions, not the action, the player selection, the way the auction goes, the gods, the cards. You're trying to figure out how to screw people out of resources. It is so cool, and it just reminds me of a simpler time. Where it's just like little cardboards and little wooden tokens, and that's it, man. You just have a blast with that game. I'm so grateful to be able to play the game. It's one of actually, I think it was my first Splutter I played. So it's one of those things that are, just good times, man. Good times. I played it in the cabin with the Cardboard Reality Peeps. It's one of those memories of like sitting there in the cabin playing that game, learning it for the first time. So
Yep. I
uh,
remember when I bought it, you facilitated me buying it from one of the hosts of Board Game Barrage, who I
oh
can't
yeah,
remember who it was.
it was
now.
Mark.
It was Mark.
Yeah, yeah, with the
Yeah.
green tank. Yeah, you
Yep.
like you're like, oh, I was gonna buy it. I was like, oh, I know him. Like, let me talk to me. Let me facilitate this trade. And I never
Yep.
got like a finder's fee or a 10% cut. It was just I did it out of the kindness of my heart, man.
Yeah. You get run sheets. That's what you get.
Thanks.
All right. My where are we? Number 4. My number 4 is it's 1830. Sanchez.
oh,
It's happened.
oh.
My number 1 from last year has fallen. As I
Wow.
hit the top of this list, right, it felt like a grandfather clause was the only thing keeping my favorite 18xx game in its spot. Make no mistake, still a stunning game. In my top 5, always happy to play. Always happy to jump in and quickly find myself in a losing position that I can't overcome, like I just did in my recent game with Physics Squirrel, where I was just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna run right and hope somebody bankrupts, and I didn't win. But it's 1830. I love it. There's just 3 things that I just love more, and so that's where we are. Tear falls from my eye and lands on the train tracks of life. Sanchez, the number 4 for the Domers.
Number 4 for the Domers is gonna be brass. All the brass. All the brass. It's a big rise. It's a big rise for brass, man. This year, we're combining them, right? So no more controversy of like, brass OG, brass Birmingham, brass Alabama, brass tax. It's all just brass. So it went from Lancashire was 20 last year and Birmingham was 15. So it kind of makes sense, right? I mean, if it's 2 games very similar in position, so it's just combined them. Uh, 34 list is the appearance number for this game. 2 number ones, man. So I don't know why you hate brass. Are you the gimmick now?
I mean, in the words of Jay, mid. Brass is just as mid as it can be. Like, brass is it's fine, but like the card, I don't want to trash brass. This is its one moment of the year in Dome to actually get recognition. So let's just leave it. I'm gonna leave brass alone and just let it have its number 4 spot,
Yes.
which is
Let the voice of the
insane.
people speak. That's
insane
right.
that it's number
Yeah.
4 for the Domers. Insane.
All right, James, you're number 3, sir.
All right, here we are, the top 3. This is where the big time happens. Can't wait to see what the Domers have, and I can't wait to show what I have. So my number 3 is Pax Porfiriana. Pax me, daddy, anytime, any place. I will play, teach, watch, whatever, some Pax Porfiriana. It repeats actually its spot for me in the number 3 from last year. It's just everything. The theme, the actions, the goals, the cards, even the atrocious graphic design is part of its charm. And I love that about it. It's just exactly what it is. And yeah, I play this literally anytime. I always want to play PAX. And I've actually warmed up to the 4 and 5 player game. I was like, I want to play at 3. I want to play at 3. Nah, like I kind of like the chaos of the 4 and 5 player game now. So I'm down. Hopefully we can get that tourney spun up here pretty soon. So Porfiriana for me at number 3.
All right, let's look at the top 3 Sanchez list. Let me read that. All right, that's right. I remember. It is Fish Fresh. The freshest of fish, fresh fish, dude. You're right, man. Once you play the game, you start getting good at it. That's all you want to play. Like it gets in your head, dude. The map, the routes, the network. Like you're just trying to get the best score possible by spending the least amount of money, and that is my kryptonite in this game. I spend all my money trying to get the best spots, and I get screwed over because money means less points, and less points means you win the game. So people are just like, well, yeah, let's not just buy that for 6. It doesn't matter because I'm still gonna get them on, money points at the end, and everyone beats me. So it's one of those hard things for me to stop, like trying to win auctions. with either 1 or 2 or 3 coins, not necessarily 6 or 5. You know what I'm saying? You know
Yep.
what I'm saying, James?
Yep, I know what you're saying. I spend my money every time in Fresh Fish and lose.
Yeah, like I have great distances, but then somebody has like a distance, but then they have 7 coins, and they're like, oh, they just zoom past me. I'm like, ah.
Yep.
Either ways, man. The game is amazing. It's unique. The mechanic in it is unique. When you get it and you see it and you see what's a good placement and a bad placement. When we played with Physics Squirrel at DomeCon, like that's what we're doing. We're sitting analyzing between 2 spots, what would be the best spot? What would be the spot for this or this? You know, what would outcome from here to here? You know, I guess that's how like chess people look at games. You know, they're like, oh, this spot's bad, but this spot's really good. That spot's really bad. Fresh Fish, you can get that kind of insight into the map, into the route building, and it just makes the game a higher tier game. So, Fresh Fish, man, number 3. Let's go.
The Domers number 3 pick is Sanchez. You know what this is?
No, I don't. Is that a gang sign? Is that a brand?
It is John Company, a new arrival to the top 20 for the Domers. This is up from number 25 last year, made 29 different lists, and tied with Age of Steam for the most number ones with 5 lists. Mr. O. Santan, Corey, Nick Bacadus, Xander, Dan. Watch out for Joko. It has gone from number 23, and then it like slipped during the Kickstarter to 25, and now up to number 3. And I think it's going to be staying here for some time, Sanchez.
Is it?
You know what would be
Is it really?
awesome is if one of these times that I arrange a play, if you actually show up and maybe you can get some thoughts on Joko.
I mean, I'll show up and then you can just quarterback me through my play, and I just sit there. How
Dude,
about
I was
that?
a disaster last night in that play. You could have scored more than me and held it over my head. It would have been amazing. Yeah, but the Domers love them some Joko. We're not surprised. This is a place that loves Colworley, and here he is again, showing up in the top 3. Sanchez, you ready to take it to number 2?
Let's go to number 2. Number 2 on Sanchez's list is Tiger Senior Frades. Man, this game, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I did not understand this game when I first was, introduced to it. Like, because once you get the rules, once you get the conflicts, once you get the tiles, man, the game sings, and you can play it pretty quick. We've done that late night. You can actually play pretty quick and have a good time with it. It doesn't have to be a super serious game. Like, you can really play kind of silly and still have fun with it. I'm so happy that Dylan, once again, has shown me the greatness of this game and stands for it. And I'm glad it's in my collection. I'm glad that I'm able to play it online. I'm glad that it's in my life. Unfortunately, I'm really sad when people like gang up on me and they just destroy my little empire. When I was just like, why aren't you attacking other people? Like, why is it me? Like, why are you on me? And all of a sudden, everyone wins, and I'm just sitting there with like 4 points because no one let me get some damn green cubes. T&E, man, it is an awesome game, and I don't think it's ever gonna leave my top 5. To tell you the truth, so.
I don't think I know your number 1 game. This is going to be fun. All right, my number 2 game is I'm with the Domers, baby. I'm a Joko boy. John Company all the way. Put it in my veins. New to my list. Shoots all the way up to number 2. I just can't express really how much I love bickering and swindling and pleading and bullshitting my way around this game, only to throw 5 dice and come up bust and see it all blow up in your face, and you can't help but feel like you deserved it anyway. Every game tells a different story. Like, it could be military might in this game where someone's just bullying their way across the map, making cash, getting power. There could be a corrupt board of directors who's just like, yeah, screw it, like pull the plug, kill them all. The dirty prime minister, right, gathering the favors from around the table to keep his stupid little wheel and just stay in power. I freaking love this game. I freaking love it. And it's insane that a game that's considered heavy, I'd say by most people, with a heavy rules load and a longish playtime, I have played, I think, like 17 games in the last year, and I'm going to keep just playing and playing and playing this game. We played it 3 times in the last, 10 days. I've played this game 3 times, and I could play it 3 more easily in the next 10 and be completely content. A game like Joko is going to be what gets me to the classic John Rogers shelf, right? Of like, I only need 20
Your
games.
10 games. Yeah.
Because I can just play Joko. Like, I'll just play Joko. I can just be a Joko person. And Yeah, you can't play with your family, at least not with some training. But if I'm playing with gamers, I'm like, let's play Joko. Um, yeah, that's my boy, Joko. Sanchez, the Domers at number 2.
The Domers at
We're
number
gonna shake
2
it
is
up.
Joko again. No, it's not. It's
More
actu-
Joko.
More Joko. Joko first edition because we did separate those. No, we didn't. All right, for number 2 for the Domers, it's actually the Great Zimbabwe.
Oh,
That's right, man. Up one spot from number 3 last year. Most overall appearances at 38 lists, man. 38 lists is impressive. 4 number 1s, we got RJ, of course, because he gets some rights. He gets some what's it called? Some money every time.
royalties for his
Yeah,
song.
some royalties. Yeah, every time it gets played. Stormcloud, Lu- Lucky Lucky, Brandon, but it just could not recapture the magic of Dome Madness to take the top spot. So if we look historically, we're looking at 9-3-2. So it is rising. People are jumping on the Great Zimbabwe. James.
Did you think that it had a chance after winning Dome Madness? Did you think it could actually take the top spot?
No. I thought, you know what? Like, it's the only one that has that opportunity. It's the only one that has the chance. It's the only one. And there's some reason, like, everyone just flips their lid on Joko, which Joko is not for everybody. That game, like, some people bounce hard off that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much love as you have for it, and it is fun, right? Like, once you get it, once you understand it, once you know the actions and all, like, everyone's position, like, yeah, you can, like, bullshit your way to a win. But man, Great Zimbabwe, it's there, it's clean, it's interesting, it's crunchy. Like that has the most going for it. I don't know if ever, unless we just we kick train games off our show. We maybe we have to do that. What's it called? Hall of Fame, where like once you win 5, you're out. Like we need to get some fresh blood in here. I don't know.
We'll see. All right, let's go to number 1. My number 1 with 1830 down to number 4. I have a new open spot, and this spot goes to my guy, Santiago. Rises from number 5 to my number 1 spot. I think having a 4-hour train game leave my top spot to make way for a 60-minute negotiation and auction game pretty much encapsulates everything about the last year gaming and where I'm at. Yeah, I want to play Joko, but shoot, we could play Joko in 90 minutes sometimes. But Santiago for me is just it's literal perfection. It's been my first game at the last 2 Dome Cons, a tradition I plan to keep going at every Dome Con to come. The procedural gameplay, where it's like, okay, we're going to do the auction, then we're going to do this, now we're going to check the overseer, now you can use your emergency irrigation. Keeps it moving around the table all the time. But each move that you make with your money, aka points, can be like so impactful on the game state. I love the Canal Overseer, just period. As a mechanic, as a thing, I love how important it is to be him, to miss him sometimes, to mess with the turn order. I just freaking love this game. And anytime we have 5 players, I'm like, I feel obligated to play Santiago. I'm like, why aren't we playing Santiago right now? I would play it at 4, but at 5, I'm just like, we need to be playing Santiago, which is, I said earlier, like a game like Moo, I'm not calling for it because I'm like, oh, we have 5? Santiago, right? So yeah,
Good
that's
point.
that's me. That's my guy. My new number 1, Santiago Sanchez.
Awesome. All right.
What is this, Sanchez? I don't even know what this is.
What? My number 1?
Yeah.
Or- You actually know it. It's Santiago, baby.
Oh,
What's up, the Santiago boys?
look at this guy.
Oh, dude. Santiago,
Wow.
dude, it is a actual negotiating game, like the negotiation game that I want to play. Like it's awesome. You're making bids. You're trying to make your crops grow. You're trying to place your crops in the right spots, man. And the best part is the damn overseer, because no matter how logical you can be or how like juicy you can make that deal, that overseer like, hell no, James, screw your beans, bam, and then everyone goes crazy. The overseer is the part that I love. You have a crazy overseer that has a meta or whatever, like it's just that wildness in the game where like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna give you $5. You're gonna have to place it there. No, I don't have to place it anywhere, man. I'm gonna place it wherever I want, or I need that money. It's great. Every time I want to play it, I just want to play it again. Like It's lean, it's quick, it's fast. Like people have fun, people want to do it again. People are negotiating side deals, teams, partners one turn, enemies the next. Oh man, it has everything I want in a social game that is mean but fun. People don't get butthurt about it. People aren't like, oh, like, blah, blah, blah. Like they because they have a chance to screw you over next turn. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have all the money, next turn you're poor as dirt and you can't do anything but have your crops die. Santiago is actually it's like you said, man, it's pretty damn close to perfection in my head. Like it's something I looked at, and I mean, I have zero train games. You know why? Because I don't.
This
How
does
much rather
it.
play-
This
Yeah,
is the train game, right? It
how
just
much
does.
rather
It
do
does
this?
train games. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. I did not see this coming. This is so exciting. I can't believe we unified on our
dude.
one.
When you said it, I'm like, holy crap! I was like, oh my god. I thought I was gonna get crap for Santiago being number one. Truthfully, I was like, oh man, you. It makes me happy that
Crazy.
we're both on the same page.
When I was assembling the list and I saw the 5 number ones for Santiago come in, I was like, or I think it was four number ones for Santiago. I was like, shit, how high could this thing get? Could this get to top 10?
Mhm.
I was excited it got to top 16, but I mean, awesome that we're both in the number one. All right, I got to do some highlights from the chat on this. We got Tom says, Triple J is going to be mumbling mid when he hears all this about Santiago. RJ says, in my head canon, Sanchez is the overseer, which cannot be more appropriate. Dan says, my take, Santiago is fresh fish without the hassle of expropriation. Very true. Very true. I will say, like, seeing Sanchez rise up here on Santiago is just a heartwarming thing to know that we're unified on this game. So freaking cool. More people keep playing Santiago, number one dome game for the hosts. But for the domers, they stuck with tradition, which is good since we bucked it and went crazy. Number one is 1830, Railways and Robber Barons. It's a three-peat, but I will tell you, the gap has closed dramatically. By our points tabulations, last year, 1830 had 600 and some points to 399 between the first and second place. This year, 1830 has 563 points to 533 for TGZ. That is very close. But for now, the king ain't going down without a fight. 35 total lists, 4 number ones from Tom, 0, Steven, Morelli Buendia, and Troy Dub. So 1830 stays on top. You're not going to get any pushback from us, really, right? Like, it's understandable. It's what we are. It's what this community is, and ain't nobody mad about that. 22 different 18xx's received votes, down slightly from 27 different ones in 2022. Last year, 1841 and 1870 looked like they were going to push into the top 20. They were 23 and 24, but they both actually fell to number 32 and 38, respectively. So I don't really know what that means, but it's just info I wanted to share. Man, double Santiago in the top. I got to update the chart here for 1830. Gosh.
All right. So let's look who fell off.
Yeah, who fell off? I got mine here first. I'll share mine. So
Okay.
I lost 6 games out of my top 20. I lost Pax Pamir, which was my number 10. Haggis was my number 15. Samurai was my number 17. SAR was my number 18. Gmo was number 19. And an Infamous Traffic was number 20. So I dropped a couple games there. More turnover than I expected. Like when I started doing my list, I knew Joko was going to rise up, but I didn't know I'd have so many other new choices. I think, German Railways just kind of took the cube spot from SAR and Gmo, but I would play any of those. I think all of these games I just mentioned are still in my top 30. Maybe Haggis slides out, but everything else kind of hangs there. Sanchez, do you know what you lost from your list, or was the turnover too strong with all your craziness?
Oh man, so I'm looking at Teachu's off, Bus is off, 1830, Locomotive Works, Age of Steam, Reef Encounter, Crokinole, Hansa Teutonica, Ink and Gold, Samurai, Turn the Tide, Battlestar Galactica, Millennial Blades, and Skull. Man, I redid a whole bunch of just. I was like, you know what? These games are great. They're probably still top 40, right? But there are some games now in my life that are just important. They're just more fun to me. They're more where do I want to spend my time? That you got it. You got my list.
Yep. So who fell off the actual Domer list? How many games?
Let's see. Off the Domers list, we're looking at Tichu. It was 16, but now it's sitting at a nice, comfortable 27.
So we're not the only ones who
No.
came off our Teach You Love. The Domers generally did too.
Yeah, you know why? I think that's Tricky Dome, man. I think people realize like, oh, there's other card games, that I can play under 2 hours and have a great time. So maybe Tricky Dome is the Tichu killer in the end, along with all the friends that we made along the journey. Agricola also was 14, now 21. Like the OG, man. Like people still have it. It's high, but
Bye, Felicia. Finally got him out. Got old
Get
Agricola
outta
out
here.
of the top 20. It's just hanging on year after year.
yeah, for some reason. But it's fingertips, dog. It could be there. Someone can just like push Agricola, and next year it's back to number 15. Who knows?
Yep. So only two
the-
new ones. So
Mhm.
the Domers like what they like. Not a lot of turnover year after year. I think we're a little more wild, and but we don't have the magic of a community congruence that we have. Like we take 80 some lists and jam them together. You're gonna eliminate some of that variance, right? Like we have our
Yeah.
own personal variance that comes out.
I mean,
All right.
It makes sense, right? I mean, yeah, like you said, you have a community, and the community that this community likes these type of games.
Yeah.
So, like that's why the lists are the way they are.
All right, let's talk some stats. I love looking a little deeper. So let's talk about the top 30 and some of the Dome darlings. So I'm going to just start. We talked about number 21 was Agricola. Number 22 was Twilight Imperium. So Twilight Imperium went from 24 to 29 last year and then up to 22. So it is coming back, and it has been getting more publicity, I feel like, around the Discord. I feel like it's right here, and it could definitely crack in one of these times.
Yeah, it's all because of XanderFace.jpg. That's
For
all.
sure. It's
That's it.
it's what the people want. It's what the people want. Yeah, Derek in the chat says TI4 allegedly coming to BGA. That could give it a real good chance to get the push
yeah.
into the top 20. Yep.
Oh, I'm definitely playing that though. By the way, are you gonna join me on that one?
I mean, I'll try. I don't know the game at all. I don't even know what
I
you
mean-
do in the game.
Just click around, dog.
Click around and find out.
Yeah, it's a way of life, man. Try it.
Raw at number 23, up from number 45. I think you can probably thank the new release for that and more people actually getting it in their hands and playing it. Maria at number 24. Maria has been kicking around for the last 3 years in the top 30. It was number 28 in 2021. It fell a little bit to 31 and now back up to 24. A chance for top 20 here or a big Dome Madness run, maybe? That's a good Dome Madness spot where it could make some noise.
Yeah, I mean, if coin collectors do their job right, it should. I've always wanted to play this game. I just never get an opportunity to play it, and when it happens, I'm just not in the right spots to join that spot. So I'm looking forward to much Maria love.
Yep. Go comes in at number 25. So for you abstract hopefuls, 25 ain't bad. It's respectable, right? Bridges of Shangri-La at number 26. I expected more, Sanchez. I thought this was going to be in the top 20 for the Domers.
I would have lost the bet, dude. If you would have said, "Hey, here's $50 bet on where it's going to be," 20 or up or over under 20, like I would have thought it would have been an over 20 easy. But I don't know, man.
I'm guessing the
people don't-
problem is it probably gets little to no top 5 love for a lot of people.
Maybe. I mean, but I know a lot of people don't like when people mess with their pieces, like maybe, I've heard people bounce off that, like, why did you move my pieces? Well, because it's part of the game. Like, oh, I don't like this game at all, so, but yeah, maybe it's just a whole bunch of 40s. Who knows?
Yep. We talked about Teach You at number 27, and then the top 30 rounds out with some Eurogame standards, Through the Ages, Great Western Trail, and Barrage. So got the Eurogames nipping at the back end of the top 30 there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the Estates, which the last few years, the Estates has always sat right outside the top 20, almost coming in. It actually fell off. It's number 31 this year, so it actually dropped a little bit. Isn't getting quite as much talk. I don't know if that's from games like Santiago, Bridge of Shangri-La, Fresh Fish, moving up or not. We'll see. Going a little deeper with some darlings. Horseless Carriage, number 40. Pretty strong debut for its first year in the rankings. Arc Nova, Sanchez's number 20 game,
That's right.
is number 46, so respectable. We saw South African Railroads at number 51. I expect that will rise considerably when if the
When
new
Kickstarter.
game gets in people's hands next year. Station Fall debuts on the list at number 61. Pretty good. Bonanza, a game that made both of our top 20s, is number 69 for the Domers.
Nice.
Nice, but a little low for me, too.
Yeah, come on, guys. Play some beans. You'll love it. I promise.
DomeCon Darling Broom Service comes in at number 79, so it got a little bit of love. Cosmic Frog, which made my number 20, is number 168 for the Domers, so not a lot of love spreading around to Cosmic Frog yet. We talked about, there's a little like quiet casual push to put Twister at your number 20 if you didn't have anything better to put there, so we could get it into the tournament. Sadly, it did not make the tournament. Number 185, Twister. So appreciate the effort, but it did not get into the tournament. How about this one? Moo. Moo is number 215. So this debuted last year at number 97. I said, this is going to be a riser. I'm going to push this on people. I had it in my top 10. The only person I apparently pushed it on was Sanchez because it's now in his top 10, but it ate shit for everybody else. 215.
I think it's because you need to play it live. I think
Yeah.
it's hard to get 5 people together, right? And you're playing this card game that people don't really know, and if you have to be kind of versed in trick taking and be able to understand the bids and all that stuff, because sometimes that's intimidating. But yeah, man, I think if you spend some time with this game, you're gonna find it's more enjoyable than 215. Come on, guys, let's go.
And number 240 is Can't Stop. So Can't Stop in 2021 was 294. And then it got a nice rise to 169. I thought it would keep rising. No, it fell. 240. Nobody gives a shit. People think
you know
Can't
why?
Stop's a joke.
Yeah, but you know why? Because people know I'm here. They don't even want to play it. Like, why play it? Sanchez is playing. I can't even win this damn game. Like, Sanchez has already done everything with this game. Like, he's already written a book on it and figured out how to win. So yeah, so people are like, yeah, whatever. Let Sanchez have his little game. So that's what I'm guessing on that one.
So Sanchez, tell the people about games that received multiple number 1 votes but did not make the top 20 this year.
Yeah, these are like the heartbreakers, right? Like someone's number 1 and didn't even make the top 20. So
Yep.
here they are. All right. So we have 3 number 1s for this game. Spirit Island, number 43 overall.
Who is still calling this their number 1 game? I can't.
Well, you have the list. You can figure that out.
I don't want to. I don't even want to know, Sanchez. I'll ban him from the Discord.
No, don't do that. 2 number 1s. We have Twilight Imperium, which came in at number 22. Go, number 25. PAX Transhumanity, number 42. Dominion. Yeah, dude, I will play some Dominion. If there was a great way of playing like Dominion on BGA, I would play that game. That comes at number 53. Napoleon's Triumph, number 50. Well, you know what? Because people don't have $200. Inflation, man. It's a hard economy. People like this game is not in people's hands. I understand why it's at 50. And then Magic the Gathering. I mean, those are all joke votes from Joe. So Joe, you're down to 59, dog. That's where you're at with Magic the Gathering. And there's a whole bunch of other games receiving just 1 vote. So when we release the entire list, so you can see the data, you can see everybody's list. You'll be able to see our the aggregated list, and you'll be able to see where your games have listed. So, James, when are we going to release that list? About a week from now?
Probably just give it a few days. Let people after release, let people download and listen, and then we'll put it out there. We'll put it out there quickly. We won't wait too long.
Okay.
So let's talk about like next year. I'll just say like what games do I think have a chance to break into my top 20? This list is funny because you're obviously going to be impacted by what you're playing recently, right? Like we have a decent collection of games that we love playing. And of course, the ones you get to play more often have a better chance to make your list. Like that's just easy to say. So it depends if these games get tabled. But like Magna Gracia, if I can get that tabled a handful more times, I could see it making a push. Horseless Carriage, I really liked when I started playing it. I just haven't really played it much since. Lowenhertz was really awesome in my 2 plays. Really fits my current love of negotiation nonsense and kind of silliness. Doppelkopf has a great chance if I can just get card games tabled again, and that's the hardest part for me. Apparently, it's not hard for Sanchez. He's a card game guy. No, he's all in. He's tricky to the core. Do you have any that you think have a chance to bust back in if you can just get them played? Or
I mean, in reality, it's what I can get played, right? So like a lot of my stuff comes from when I play with the DFW boys, BGGCon, fall and spring, anything on DomeCon, or even like I need to start getting more into just playing games with you guys online again once my life gets more under control, because that's what it is, right? Just experience and just listening to what the Domers want to play. I mean, a lot of these games, it's not me looking for these games saying, "Hey, I heard this awesome card game." It's always people pushing games on me because I mean, that's just reality of who I am. So like, if I ever get to play a Lone Hearts game or whatever, like, maybe it's gonna be it. I just need to play games with my homies. So I'm open, dude. My list, the turnaround or turnover was huge, and that's only because of people, in the community. James, Tricky Dome, Derek of all people. I mean, Derek is just pushing games on me. He's like, try this one, try this one, try this one. Drew, you know what I'm saying? It's just people influence me, and the times that I have on the table are important. So if I'm having a good time and the game makes me have a good time, then it's gonna be in my list. So yeah, I gotta play games, man.
All right, well.
Oh, and RJ, Sanchez. Big shout out to RJ. I don't want to feel RJ's not helping me out because RJ's just pulling out games out of wherever the hell he pulls out games from Marcus.
From the chat, Derek says Cascadero, James. No.
What is that? What is Cascadero?
We'll talk about that on a future episode. I'm gonna save,
it sounds like a Target game.
Sounds like a disease. All right, that's it for the top 20. 2 hours, 60 games. James and Sanchez, look at us, Sanchez. 4 years, and here me and you are back at the top, the same game, Santiago boys.
Talking the same 20 games, new spins, woo!
Right, but at least we got some fresh meat up top, right?
That's right, Santiago.
Wow. Santiago, can't
I just want to play Santiago.
I want to play right now.
Actually, that's what I want to do. Yeah, I want to play right now. Like,
I bet we can get a crew together after we push the buttons on this thing. All right. Well, if you've stuck around for 2 hours, this is, James and Sanchez. This is Dads on a Map. You can go to dadsonamap.com to get all our info. You can find the Kyle rules for Fresh Fish there, because I'm going to put them there after our game of Santiago is over.
That's right.
But otherwise, thanks for riding with us again. 4 years deep. This is our 4th time doing this list. It's one of our favorite things to do. I love recapping both Heat Check on Sanchez and I, and just to see where the community's at and where they're trending. And I love that we have enough data and time to have a history. Like, that's so cool that we can have historical trends within our data. But that's it. Right, Sanchez? We'll see you in a couple weeks and back to the normal show. Sanchez will be at BGGCon in like a month.
Yeah, man. You know me, and I got the recorder. Actually, Hector sent me the recorder. It's now in my possession with the SD card. Joe.
Although
I have the SD card.
Joe did something Hector couldn't, which is get content. So, man, I'm just savage all the time.
Oh man, poor Hector. I like Hector. Leave Hector alone. He's a good guy.
I'm playing us out with the Dome Shop. So let me I'll play it for the viewers again too. But here's Dylan. Take it away, Dylan.
Ads, can we go to Half Price Books?
What?
Poor Sanchez. He can't hear this one. You can just go to YouTube. Oh, just go on Twitch. You can watch it. I'm hunting for some gems. Only got $20 in my PayPal. Map trades or markets. Looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Now walk Walk into the store like, what up, bring out your old stock. Now I'm just pumped to buy some shit from the Dome Shop. Games in my hands, the rules are damn crumbly. The people like,
Damn, that's a dusty ass homie.
rolling in, scanning for the opposite of all the rage. Drinking mean mint, and I always stop when I see beige. Think up on a reprint, pull it up in front of me. Rains in Iberia, smells like a travesty. Piss. Boy, not for 99 cents, dump it! Sales table checking, looking for a happy accident. Passing up on the dollar copies of Founders of Doom and it's digging dented, fuck it, man. Approach it without caution and paying my money for your rarities, cause that's a bargain, bitch. I'ma take your grandpa's games, I'ma take your grandpa's games. No, for real, ask your grandpa, can I have his 3M games? Bookshelf edition, still with price stickers. Avalon Hill games, all in good condition. They had a game with no board, I bought a game with no board. I bought a laminator, then I made my own board. Hello, hello, my ace man, my mellow. Don't underrate my janky PNP game, hell no. I've cobbled up this and that, weird games of all sorts. Collectors always be like, oh, he got the impulse.
I'm hunting for some gems, only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. I'm hunting for some gems, only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about keeping them gems in your noggin? What you knowin' about pulling that catalog when you're digging? You're digging, you're searching right through that rubbish. One game is trash, that's another one's come up. Thank your granddad for donating his red vintage board games, cause new shit just don't hit the same. In HPV, you bet your ass I'll take a look. I'm not stuck on searching in that section. For 20 or 30 or shit maybe 40, I'll take that sorted unplayed game right off your hands and trade that motherfucker. I'll get a yes from your no on that motherfucker. I'll move it up, go BG Co on that motherfucker. They be like, oh, let's settle, that's hella tight. I'm like, yo, that's a hundo for a paperweight. Signature edition, let's do some simple addition. Draw a card and play a card ad nauseum can make you sick. Shit. But was just playing full price to let it sit? Shit. You do you, it's probably not my business. It costs hella dough. And when your gravestone message starts with MSRIP, that's a hella dough. Secondhand games, yo, that's what you wanna scope. Trying to keep up with the hotness, you hella won't. Man, you hella won't.
Hidden gems, feeling
I'm hunting for some gems, only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. I play your granddad's games, hotness don't hit the same. Flip hits with flashy names for that Dome Shop Hall of Fame. I play your granddad's games,
Damn right.
hotness don't hit the same.
It don't, man.
Flip hits with flashy names
Flip 'em.
for that Dome Shop Hall
Top
of
shelf, let's
Fame.
go.
I'm hunting for some gems, only got $20 in my PayPal. Math trades or markets, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Advanced Squad Leader, is that your grandpa's game?
There's the goods right there, folks. All right. Twitch, YouTube, whoever you are, we're out. Whoa, what is this? All right. My YouTube just decided to play something else. All right, I'm turning it off.